Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 23rd of December 1985, and the title is A Conqueror of Lust, one who is beyond all limited desires. Bap Dada is looking at his small, elevated, and happy world. On the one side, there is the very big, tasteless world. On the other side is a small, happy world. In this happy world are the Brahmin souls who are full of happiness and peace, because this life is a happy and peaceful life on the basis of purity and cleanliness. Where there is purity and cleanliness, there cannot be any name or trace of sorrow or peacelessness. This small, happy world is in the fortress of purity. If you step outside the fortress of purity, even in your thoughts, you experience the influence of sorrow and peacelessness. If the foot of your intellect remains in this fortress, then there cannot be any wave of sorrow or peacelessness, even in your dreams, let alone your thoughts. If there is the slightest experience of sorrow or peacelessness, there is definitely the influence of one type of impurity or another. Purity does not just mean becoming a conqueror of lust and thereby a conqueror of the world. But all limited desires are the creation of the vice of lust. To be a conqueror of lust means to be victorious over all desires, because each desire has a great deal of expansion. One is the desire for physical possessions. The second desire is to attain something limited from people. Thirdly, many types of limited desires arise in fulfilling relationships. Fourthly, within the intention to do service, limited desires also arise. To finish all these four types of desire means to be victorious over sorrow and peacelessness for all time. Now ask yourself, have I finished all these four types of desires? If any permissible thing attracts you towards itself, then that is definitely attachment in the form of desires. You change the words and say in a royal way, I don't want it, but I like it, whether it is an object or a person, to have a special attraction towards it. When you like just that particular object or person, means there are desires. That is a desire. It is right when you say that you like everything and everyone, but it is wrong to say that you like just a particular thing or person. That is a royal form of desire. Whether you like someone's service, someone's sustenance, virtues, effort, renunciation, or nature, it is a different matter to take the fragrance of that goodness or to imbibe that goodness into yourself. Instead of thinking that you like that one in particular because of that one's goodness, this is because that goodness then changes into desires. It is a desire. You are then unable to face sorrow or peacelessness. One is to deprive yourself of becoming good because of that one's goodness. The other is the feeling of enmity that also brings you down. One is the desire to be impressed. The other is the desire from having jealousy or holding a grudge against someone. These two finish your happiness and peace. Then your mind is constantly in upheaval. The signs of being impressed are attachment and subservience. Similarly, the sign of having feelings of jealousy or enmity are to try and prove yourself right and being stubborn. You are then unaware of how much time and energy are wasted in having both these types of feeling. Both cause a lot of loss. They distress you and also cause distress to others. At such a time, the chant from such souls is, I have to take and give sorrow. No matter what happens, I have to do this. It is their desires that are speaking at that time. It is not the Brahmin soul speaking at that time. This is why their foot of the intellect steps outside the world of happiness and peace. Therefore, become victorious over these royal desires. Go beyond these desires and have the stage of being ignorant of even the knowledge of desires. When you have the thought due to either type of feeling, that you will definitely demonstrate this by doing something. To whom will you demonstrate it? To the father or the Brahmin family? Whom will you show? Then just consider that as not demonstrating, but that you will demonstrate falling. Is that the wonder that you will demonstrate? Is falling something you would be proud of showing others? The intoxication of limited attainment. I will demonstrate by doing this service. I will demonstrate by glorifying the name. Check whether these words are royal. You speak the language of lions, but you become like sheep. Nowadays, people wear the face mask of a tiger, an elephant, Ravan, or Ram. So, this too is Maya wearing the face of a tiger. I will definitely demonstrate this. I will do this. However, Maya influences you and makes you into a sheep. To have any consciousness of mind means to be influenced by one type of limited desire or another. Speak yukti-yukt language and also have yukti-yukt feelings. This is not cleverness, but it is experiencing defeat every cycle and becoming part of the moon dynasty instead of the sun dynasty. You will then have to become part of the moon dynasty every cycle. So, is that defeat or cleverness? Do not show such cleverness. Do not become arrogant. Do not insult anyone. Both of those feelings distance you from good wishes and pure feelings. So, check. There isn't the slightest feeling of arrogance or insult, is there? Where there are feelings of arrogance or insult, that person can never be stable in the stage of self-respect. Self-respect makes you step away from all desires, and you will then constantly swing in the swings of happiness and peace in the world of happiness. This is called being a conqueror of all desires and a conqueror of the world. So, Bab Dada was looking at the small, happy world Why do you go from the world of happiness in your own world into the foreign land with the foot of your intellect? A religion that is not yours, a land that is not yours would always cause you sorrow. Your original religion and your original land give you happiness. So, you are the children of the Father, who is the ocean of happiness. You are souls who have experienced the world of happiness. You are souls who have a right and so always remain happy and peaceful. Do you understand? All the loving children from this land and abroad have arrived at their home, their father's home, to claim their right. Seeing the children who have a right, Bap Dada is also pleased. Just as you have come here with happiness, similarly, the method of remaining constantly happy is to renounce both of those things, even in your thoughts, and to become fortunate for all time. You have come to claim your fortune, but together with claiming your fortune, you also have to leave behind any weakness of the mind that obstructs your flying stage. To renounce this means to claim something. Acha, to those who always live in the world of happiness and who are conquerors of all desires, to the elevated souls who always have good wishes and pure feelings for all souls, to the special souls who constantly remain stable on the seat of self-respect, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Bap Dada meeting teachers. What jewels do all of you consider yourselves to be? Jewels of contentment. At the present time, especially, it is contentment that is essential. Which goddess is worshipped the most? The goddess of contentment, Santoshima. It is easy to please the goddess of contentment. The goddess of contentment becomes content very quickly. Why is the goddess of contentment worshipped? Because there is a lot of tension at the present time. There is a lot of distress. And because of this contentment continues to increase. This is why everyone is looking for ways to remain content. However, they are unable to do this. So, at such a time, all of you have to become jewels of contentment and give everyone the enlightenment of contentment. Make others content with your enlightenment of contentment. First of all, remain content with yourself, then remain content in service, and then remain content in your relationships. For only then will you be called a jewel of contentment. You need to have 3 certificates of contentment. 1 from yourself, 1 for service, and the 3rd from your companions. You have claimed all these 3 certificates, have you not? It is good that you have come away from the upheaval of the world and reached Achalghar, the home of stability. This father's place is Achalghar. To arrive at Achalghar is also a sign of great fortune. It was because you had renunciation that you arrived at Achalghar. You have become fortunate, but you can extend the line of your fortune as much as you want. You have come in the list of those who are fortunate because you now belong to God. And this is why you have become fortunate. You stepped away from everyone else and made the one belong to you. And this is why you have become fortunate. Bap Dada is pleased to see this courage of you children. No matter what you are elevated in your renunciation and courage in service. No matter if you are young or new, Bap Dada is congratulating you for your renunciation and courage. Bap Dada looks at you with this regard. There is importance even in becoming an instrument. While constantly continuing to move forward with this importance, you will become great souls in the world and become very well known. So, you know your own greatness, do you not? To the extent that you are great, so you are humble. Just as the sign of a fruitful tree is that it bows down, similarly, those who are humble are the ones who eat the instant, practical fruit. This is the specialty of the confluence age. Acha, blessing, instead of being too clever with the Father, the cleverest of all, may you be liberated from all sins by having the power of realization. Some children try to be clever with the Father, the cleverest of all, in order to accomplish their task or in order to glorify their name. They have realization at that time, but because that realization doesn't have power, transformation doesn't take place. There are some who do understand that something is not right, but they also think that their name should not be spoiled, and they therefore kill their conscience. This is also accumulated in the account of sin. Therefore, renounce this type of cleverness, and with the realization of an honest heart, transform yourself and become liberated from sins. Slogan: to remain free from the various bondages while living this life is the stage of liberation in life. Om Shanti.